In contemporary Israel, immigration has always been an enduring theme. The state of Israel grew from nothing. Its population rose from sparse to abundant, and its national strength increased from weak to powerful, all thanks to Jewish immigrants from around the world. While the United States is often called a nation of immigrants, Israel is, in fact, a true immigrant nation. Without immigration, there would be no Israel today. Some Israelis often claim that Jews have lived continuously in Palestine for 3,000 years, which is true. However, by the early 19th century, the Jewish population in Palestine numbered only a few thousand. With the rise of the Zionist movement, Jews began to immigrate to Palestine in an organized manner. On the eve of Israel's founding, there were over 600,000 Jews in the region. After Israel declared independence in 1948, Jews arrived in waves. Between 1948 and 1951 alone, Israel's Jewish population doubled to 1.3 million. In the following decades, Jewish immigrants continued to flow into Israel from all over the world like a steady stream. There were several surges of immigration during the 1960s and 1970s, and a major wave emerged in the late 1980s and early 1990s, primarily from the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. The Soviet Union was once home to one of the largest Jewish populations in the world, about 1.6 million, second only to the United States and Israel. For decades, due to tense relations with the West and Israel, the Soviet government strictly restricted Jewish immigration. These restrictions began to ease only after Mikhail Gorbachev came to power in 1985. Amid political instability, economic hardship, and rising ethnic tensions, many Jews feared becoming victims of renewed anti-Semitism and sought to emigrate. From 1987 to 1990, the number of Jews emigrating from the Soviet Union increased rapidly. Around 8,177 in 1987, nearly 19,000 in 1988, 71,000 in the second half of 1989, and a dramatic surge to 200,000 in 1990. Most chose Israel, as other countries imposed numerous restrictions on immigrants. While Israel welcomed Jewish immigrants, provided assistance, and even established direct international flights. Between 1990 and 1991 alone, more than 350,000 Soviet Jews immigrated to Israel. Jews from other Eastern European countries also joined this migration. Hungary sent 60,000, Romania 22,000, and thousands more came from Czechoslovakia, Poland, Yugoslavia, and Bulgaria. In 1991, 14,000 Ethiopian Jews were also brought to Israel. From 1990 to 2000, Israel received roughly 800,000 new Jewish immigrants, raising its Jewish population from under 4 million to nearly 5 million. Israel has conducted several notable immigration operations in its history. 1949 to 1950, Operation Magic Carpet, airlifted 49,000 Yemeni Jews. 1950, Operation Ezra and Nehemiah, coordinated land, sea, and air transport for 150,000 Iraqi Jews. 1968 to 1989 brought 140,000 Romanian Jews through payments to the Romanian government. 1984, Operation Moses, airlifted over 8,000 Ethiopian Jews. 1991, Operation Solomon, airlifted 14,500 Ethiopian Jews. 1990 to 2000, approximately 800,000 Jews from the former Soviet Union immigrated following its collapse. 2011, Operation Dove's Wings, brought the last 7,500 Ethiopian Jews to Israel. Israel's extensive absorption of Jewish immigrants served both pragmatic and ideological purposes. Pragmatically, it increased human resources, enhanced national security, boosted economic development, and strengthened Israel's position vis-a-vis Arab nations. Ideologically, Israel's law of return guarantees every Jew the right to return to their ancient homeland, a principle widely embraced by most Israelis. Upon arrival, New immigrants are typically greeted warmly by officials, Jewish organizations, and volunteers. Youths present flowers, rabbis recite passages from the Torah, and officials deliver welcoming speeches. Immigrants are then escorted to absorption centers, nearly 200 of which exist nationwide, providing temporary housing, language classes, job training, and medical services. However, reality is not always welcoming. Immigrants face significant challenges, especially in employment and housing. Although many Soviet immigrants were highly educated, Israel also had an abundance of skilled professionals, forcing many to take ordinary or manual jobs. The direct absorption policy meant the government provided a one-time living stipend, leaving housing and long-term livelihood to the immigrants themselves. New immigrants are also required to serve in the military and face security threats from Palestinians and extremist groups. Many Soviet immigrants were not Zionists. About 20% could not prove their Jewish status. Their primary goal was a better life, and when reality did not meet expectations, frustrations arose. In the early 1990s, these immigrants' votes even influenced political power shifts in Israel. Immigration also brought social consequences. Russian immigrants contributed to rising crime, while Ethiopian Jews, though hardworking and compliant, faced societal discrimination. Yemeni and Moroccan Jews who arrived in the 1950s have largely maintained their own communities and cultural traditions. Interactions between different immigrant groups are limited, and political, economic, and cultural conflicts continue to affect Israeli society.